Pilimachtiani, Tlaxcamati, Namantimomachtice, Tonali, Kashtoli, 1A. Today we're going to study episode 18 for season 2. We're going to look at more family vocab words because there's a lot more that we haven't seen. And the conditional tense, which is a new tense that we'll check out today. So we're getting to 18. Our season has 20 episodes, but don't forget to like and subscribe because there'll be more content coming up. Besides this season that we have right now, though, and also if you have any other suggestions, other things that you'd like to see, I know a few people have commented some, so if you have other ideas that you'd like to see, I do check out all ideas, so feel free to comment those down below. So we got a whole new list of words, of family words, and you don't have to necessarily memorize all these, but it's good to have them, write them down somewhere, keep them somewhere. They can be very handy sometimes. So, first word is no machikni. So remember, we're going to say no in all these because no means it belongs to me, mine. I cannot say these family words by themselves. It sounds awkward in Nahuatl to do that. So I could also say his or hers or ours, but I'm just going to say no, which means my. No machikni. Ikni, you might remember that word that means sibling, my sibling. But mach changes it a little bit. So this whole word, mach ikni, is a word for cousin. Cousin. It doesn't matter if it's boy or girl. Your cousin is no mach ikni. No mach kone. Kone meaning child. And mach, kind of like we saw it with mach ikni. They do something here. They do have a meaning. But basically, this word here means my niece or my nephew. It doesn't matter. It doesn't specify for gender. Niece or nephew. No machkone. No tlayi, my uncle. Very important. No tlayi. No awi, my aunt. These two words, tlayi and awi, they don't matter if it's your mom's side or your dad's side. Any uncle is your tlayi or awi. So tepots here kind of means your step. For example, no tepots nana would be my stepmom. No tepots tata, my stepfather. No tepots kone means my stepchild. Iknotzin or iknotl literally means an orphan. But it's used metaphorically to mean like poor thing. Poor thing, iknotzin. No ishwi, my grandchild, no ishwi. And also besides no kone, synonym for no kone is no pil or no pipil, or in Huasteca no pipilwan, which means my children. My children. So pil or pipil and kone, they're all synonyms. Tio is kind of like the word is related, is the same thing as teo, just pronounced tio in the Huasteca, but teo is teo, that spirit, divine energy. So no tiota is how they created the word for my godfather. No tionan, my godmother. No tiokone, my godchild. So it's just a little suffix you put in front of that. So it's especially used, obviously, in the context of baptisms. It only gets a little bit more tricky when we're talking about your in-laws. That vocabulary can get a little bit more tricky. There's a difference between if you're a man or if you're a woman. So, for example, we'll have notesh, which means my brother-in-law, but this word's only used by men. Noes, my sister-in-law, but this word's only used by women. Noehpol, my sister-in-law. This is used by men, or if a woman says it, it means her brother-in-law. So it's kind of like they're crossing over, your opposite. They'd have the same word basically for each other. Nomonta, my father-in-law. Nomonan, my mother-in-law. But these words are used if you're a man. So that's your father-in-law and your mother-in-law. If you're a woman, the words are different. It's noyeshta and noyeshnan for my father-in-law and my mother-in-law. A little bit tricky, yes, but there are some patterns that help us out. Ta and na, both nan, both both mean your father and mother everywhere. Mon, you'll know if you see that mon, it's going to be used by man. If you see the yesh, it's going to be used by woman. And then the teo or tio, all have that in common too. It's only the middle column that might take a little bit more practice. Okay, some other bonus words. It's tla, itla, or intla, which means if. They all mean if in different varieties. Huasteca tends to say tla, pronounced tla. Other varieties prefer itla, and some say intla. So let's get to the conditional tense. The conditional tense, you use it for three purposes, which basically means I would, I should, or I was gonna. I was about to do, but I didn't. So it's conditional. Conditional, I would do this if this. And number two, I should do this. Or number three, I was about to do this, but I didn't. So that's when we use this conditional tense or the skia tense. The rule is pretty simple. It's same thing as the future. Kind of. It's same patterns, but skia would be for the singular and skia with an H is for the plurals. The other rule is ian oa will lose the a again. You'll see that pattern happen all the time. So momachtia, to study. Ni momachtia, I study. So how would we add the skia? Ni momachti skia. So what we did here is we dropped the a in momachtia and we added skia. Ni momachti skia. And we use singular because ni is singular. Ti momachti skia. You would have studied. Momachti skia. He would study if. Ti momachti skia. We would study. In momachti skia. Ya would study if. And momachti skia. They would study if. Okay, so only new thing here is that ending skia or skia. Nihkuaskia lashosh tla tinechmakaskia. I would eat an orange if you would give me one. So, nihkuaskia, I would do this action. I would eat. And then we have the word if. And it's if you would give me a. So we use it in both times here. We're using it in both places. It's not necessary I use it in both. I could have the skia just in the first one. I would eat an orange if you give me one, saying tlatinechmakas, if you give me one. And here but it's optional, we could say tlatinechmakaskia, if you would give me one. So I would do this if you would do this. Nihkuaskia lashosh pero nechichiki pipitzo. Pipitzoa means to lick something. Pipitzoa. So nihkuaskia lashosh, I would eat an orange, but that dog licked it. So I was gonna eat it, but this happened. So we use the conditional because I was gonna do something, I just didn't get to do it. So it could be in the past, it could be in the future. Nihkuaskia lashosh, moneki vitamina C. This is the should. So it means coulda, woulda, shoulda, basically. It is saying I should eat an orange. I need vitamin C. But I haven't heard this use of the skia tense too often, as much as the other ones, but it is a possibility. So here's some, because it's a pretty simple, straightforward concept, y'all can try and practice this. Leave your answers here down below, whatever you think. Number one says, I would work in your field if I had time. So your field is going to be the word momila. And the word to have time is, to say I have time is nimoashilia. That means I'm free, I have time. Nimoashilia. Number two is going to be, I would eat if we were hungry. I eat or we eat is titlaqua. And we are hungry is timayana. We would go to the market. So to go is tia or tia. We go. Tia means you go. We would go is tiyowi. We will go is tiyase. So you're going to use the word ya in this context. And the market is tianguis. Number 4, I would take this little bird home. So to take is wika. And home is my home, which is nocha. You fall, for number 5, is you were about to fall, but I grabbed you. So you fall is tiwetsi. And then I grab you is nimitsitsuki. I grabbed you, nimitsitsuki, from the word skia. I was gonna see you 4 days ago. So 4 days ago is nahyopaya. And I see you is nimitsita. Nimitsita. So you're just gonna have to add the skia there. So I'll give you one answer for number 6. So I was gonna see you, nimitsita skia. Straightforward, nimitsita skia. And 4 days ago, nahyopaya. So just put it together. Nimitsita skia nahyopaya. Here's some other drills we can do quickly. Try and add it quickly, because in your brain you would have to add this quickly. So add the skia, just glue it onto the back of these words. Nitekiti changes to nitekiti skia. Titlaqua changes to titlaqua skia. Tikochi changes to tikochi skia. Nimitsneshtilia, I show you something. Nimitsneshtili skia. So we drop the a. So drop the a because it ends in ia or oa. That's the only thing you have to remember. So I would show you. Nimowihtsoma. Nimowihtsoma. I would bow down. Nimowihtsoma skia. Kikochteka. He lulls him to sleep, or he puts him to sleep. He lays him down to sleep. Kikochteka skia. Okay, so that's it for today's lesson. Tlaskamati, this is the conditional tense. One more tense y'all know about, one less to worry about, and there's not that many tenses in Nahuatl. So it's a nice thing about Nahuatl. It's not too complicated when it gets to tenses. Tlaskamati.